Praise the Lord. I am super excited to show you how to take some big goals and chunk them down into some bite sizes that you're able to get done and organize the things that you need to do. So it's not overwhelming, it's not taxing. I don't know about you, but sometimes, a lot of times, I see like this big vision or this dream, or I look at this huge project and we're like, I don't even know where to start. I don't even know what to do. How do I make this happen? And I was really thinking lately is like, there's a lot of people in ministry who want to get things done, but they don't even know how to start. They don't know where to put their priority or their focus or what to do first. So I've been going through this system. It was in October 2019 that I just started to really, for that month, I was like, I'm going to learn about goal setting, the science of goal setting, and then I'm going to look at the Bible and God's Word on goal setting and understanding science through the Scriptures, not the other way around. And in doing that, I began to realize there is a science to taking your vision into reality. Proverbs says, without a vision, the people perish. And it's important for us to be able to have an idea of where we're going. As missionaries, we are on a mission. We have a vision. There is a direction that we're going. It's very clear. And in that process, I realized that some things work, and for many years, I didn't know what those were. And I'm recording this because I realize that some of you feel the same way. You're not sure how to get done the things that you believe God has called you to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to take some bigger project that you want to work on and break it down and see what it actually takes to get stuff done. In the Army of Youth, this is the process I've been using to develop the slide design team, to develop to purchase this house, to set up, you see that right there? This recording studio that we have, it's all been going through the same process to organize departments, put together systems. Any of the projects, the reason why we were able to triple our team in size and be able to work together, I mean, a lot of this is the results of going through this process that I'm about to just hand over to you and share from a lot of the research that I put together, trying to piece together some of the best things that I found to be the most helpful, and I'm going to be sharing this with you. So hopefully you find this valuable and you enjoy it. So I'm going to switch this over so you can see my screen, and don't click that. That's way too big. I'll be in the little corner right here. That's what I'll do. I'll be in the corner. Okay, so basically, I'm actually not going to start at the top. I'm not going to start at the very top. I'm going to pick up where I left off in this process. So I'm just showing you, I'm documenting the process as I go, so you can kind of come with me. It's kind of like you're looking over my shoulder so that you can see what I see and what I'm doing, what I'm working on. And I pray and I hope that this will be valuable for you, so you can see how I process and look through this, how I work through this of taking a big goal and do it otherwise. So I call this Operation Leadership Development. My greatest goal in life right now, my mission, my vision, like what I want to accomplish, is I want to see more leaders developed in the cause of God and what that looks like. So this is my process. I put it on my project board. You know, this is not my project board. I put on my project board. It is something that I'm working in progress right here on the Operation Leadership Development. And this is a program called Notion. I love Notion. It's wonderful. So I put down some steps up there, but I copied and pasted this from the System Hub. You go Control P, System Hub, and then you search for Setting Goals Framework. You'll find it. That's what this is. It's pretty clear. It's pretty good. And I'm going to these stepping stones. This is what I use to kind of jog my mind to think about what I need to do. So who do I know that can mentor me in achieving this goal? And this is I'm putting together a sloppy list, trying to think. Now, who do I know? I'm like, man, Sebastian Braxton. He's a mentor of mine, and I am grateful. There is Warren. I forgot their names actually. Nell. I think it's Nell. Now Warren, the couple who went through John Maxwell coaching program. So Sebastian introduced me to those two. That was pretty cool. I'm just thinking, like, who do I know that could help me through this process? Who can I interview on our podcast? Just ask them about developing leaders. I think I can ask Maimon Wilson. Maimon Wilson probably could teach me some things about developing leaders. That would be pretty good. Thomas Jackson. Well, Thomas Jackson flat out said he would do an interview with me, so that would be interesting. I'd love to hear from him on that. I just think, who do they know that could help me to develop others? And what's nice too is, like, they don't have to be mentors that I know personally. They could be distant mentors. I can embrace distant mentors through podcasts. So I could say Craig Rochelle, Leadership Podcast, Developing Leaders. What was that? Andy Stanley, Leadership Podcast, something about developing leaders. Those types of things are pretty helpful. One that I found really helpful is John Maxwell. He actually has, I don't like his podcast, it's not that great. But his audio books on Scribd, those things are so cool. I love those. So I actually got this workbook. It's pretty cool. Developing the Leaders Around You workbook. There are very few books that I actually read from cover to cover. This is one of those books. I not only listen to the audio 6 times, the audiobook, it's 6 hours, but I had Mom go and buy the workbook so I could physically go through it. I'm meticulously studying it every day to try to extract everything I can from it. It's been pretty helpful. So that's been good. So who do I know with a similar goal that I can teach what I learn as I learn? Okay, well, someone else is who do I know? Similar goal. I'm just doing this so this makes sense to me. You'll see why later, because I don't want to just put Pastor Smith. Brother Dustin from Hope Through Prophecy YouTube channel. He has a Dream 100. He has a similar goal, and I'm thinking all the people who are interested in developing others as leaders. So developing leaders. Everyone is a list. I can also make a list of everyone who is on the small group leadership chat. Those are all people who want to develop leaders. That's pretty cool. Provide redeem the time training programs for people. So for the month of July challenge, it's time management. I need to find out someone. I need to delegate that. Find someone who could do that. So where can I find training relating to accomplishing this goal faster? Courses, books, events, etc. That's a really good question. I wonder if John has courses on this. But I've got this fill out developing the leaders around you workbook. Yes. And fill out developing the leaders greatest return workbook. Doing those things would probably help a lot. I really need people I can train, so the leadership table is good. Write down who shows up at the leadership table. So that is something Kathy can help with. That'd be great. Anyone who shows up at the leadership table would be interested in developing leaders, because I'm sharing with them what I'm learning as I learn, that will be life-changing, really be eye-opening for me to know what people's goals are, who's interested in developing leaders. So trying to think what other books would help me to get there faster. Events? I don't know what events. I mean, there's that Catalyst event, but I don't know. Well, I could put consider attending Catalyst event, leadership event. I don't know where that is or when it is, but I know Mom is great at researching. She could find out information on that. I'm at like a level 2, like 2 out of 10 of interest in attending that, but hey, it's something possible. One thing that this process teaches you is that God has 1,000 ways to provide, of which we know nothing. As you go through this, you may think of only like 5 to 10 or even just only one answer to the question, but just know by faith that God has 1,000 answers and more to every question here, but it makes a big difference. So the work of a minister is a Google Doc remix for leadership, not just ministers. Yeah, that'd be cool. Go through archaic synonym framework to identify all the archaic synonyms for leaders in the scriptures. That'd be so fun. I would like doing that for my devotions. So what are some ways that I can be intentional with my devotions? I can study the leadership of Nehemiah. I'd love to study about him. So I could create a sloppy list of Nehemiah. Obviously, spelling his name wrong. Another thing I could do is I could preach a sermon about systems. That would be so fun. Preach a sermon about systems. I love teaching about systems. That would be so fun. Make a list of principles. See which documents. Yeah, I need to do that. I definitely need to do that. Oh, you know what else I could do? Okay, this would be a similar goal. Oh yeah. So what I can do is gather a study group of not just people, communicators who want to help create the outlines for the livecast, the monthly livecast, and choose the topics we cover in there. That would be good. So people I'm thinking about is like Chital, Neri, Tina, Susie. I don't know who else would be interested in that, but that would be a fun experience, going through these Bibles. That would be actually like it's kind of like a workathon, is what we call them in ministry when we get to work together on those things. Just schedule it. Wow, that'd be so fun. And we would all be able to study leadership stuff together there. And the really powerful thing about this is you will see works great. And you know who can help do that? I forgot where. Oh yeah. So this would be something that Tina and Kathy are able to do. It's not something I need to do. But Kathy can schedule a time, and I could probably do it systematically. Consider doing this systematically so we are well in advance of topics, upcoming livecast topics. Yeah, that'd be so fun. That'd be cool. Alright, so there's that. See what I'm doing here? Just going through it. Thinking leadership. Oh, another thing. What was his name? Thomas Jackson, founder of Meat Ministries, he said he would send me a document on, what was it? Determining the will of God. And he also said that he is putting together a curriculum on developing leaders. Oh, and I know another guy, mentor, similar goal. There we go. Similar goal is Ramon Gibbs. I love this brother. Red River Farm. He asks questions. And Ezekiel, he's a funny guy. I would I'd say he's also a mentor of mine. I'd love to learn from him. I should talk to him more often. That'd be great. Wow, starting to develop a list. Being intentional. Oh, I know someone else too. Similar goal. Victoria Manigo. She wants to develop leaders. And I know Christina wants to develop leaders. Christina. Yep. She wants to develop leaders. That's good. Really cool. It would send me a document on determining the will of God. Yeah, so that's good. Alright, so now I'm going to see, that was just the stepping stone number 1, learning. It's kind of intense, but now, like, the goal is to make a sloppy list. It's really not to keep them all there, because it's kind of harder to process, but you see, now I got it like this, and it makes it a lot easier. At least it makes it easier for me. This is kind of the process I'm going through, and I am getting better at it, but I'll continue to learn and improve. So what kind of additional beliefs would I need to have in order to really achieve the goal I set? So the specific goal that I'm going through is developing leaders. So so these beliefs, even though they might be something I'm struggling with, Jesus says, like Titus 3:8, it talks about, this is a faithful saying, and the things I will that thou affirm constantly, that they which have believed in God might be careful to maintain good works. So God wants us to affirm constantly faithful sayings, and there's a verse in Romans that was talking about, no, it was actually in Philippians, now I think about it. Yeah, it was in Philippians, and this verse says, good in you. Oh no. Here it is. Romans 4:17. It says, God, who quickeneth the dead, and calleth those things which be not as though they were. So that's a biblical principle, that even though these beliefs are things that I'm struggling with, I'm going to call them as though they were currently, like what I'm experiencing. And the reason why is because these statements make a big impact on our minds and change our beliefs and having these biblical beliefs. So an example would be like, what I need to do. I spend 80% of my time developing 20% of the leaders with the highest potential. That is something that I have not adopted, but I am, this is a belief that I need. That 80-20 rule. Another, trying to think, what else? What other beliefs would I need? What Bible promises can I claim for helping me fulfill God's plan and renew my mind? Yep. So 2 Timothy 2:2, something I could definitely do. Matthew 28:20, that is Great Commission. Disciples. Yeah. So, what Bible promises can I claim for helping me to fulfill God's plan and renew my mind? Yeah, I need a new mind. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. List out at least 5 to 7 beliefs I would have been believing in order to not follow through with my goal. So these are things that prevent me. I don't know. No, I don't know anyone who is developing leaders who develop leaders. I need to talk to someone in person who I can have a conversation with on this subject. This is basically, when I think about this, what are all my limitations? What are the things that I struggle with on this? What are my false beliefs? Or limiting beliefs? Yeah, I'm sorry, that one's kind of hard. I'll try to speed this up. I was still thinking about this one. Sometimes the beliefs are a little challenging to go through because we don't know our own beliefs, but I'd say as I go throughout the book, it's, here we go. My team doesn't want to develop leaders. I know that's not true. Sometimes it's kind of hard. Here's another one. I would rather run with 1 than carry 1,000. So 5 to 7. I'm going to skip that part actually. What habits can I start on a daily basis or a weekly basis to get to where I want to be? Habits. Definitely listen consistently to content on developing leaders. Encourage my team and friends to listen to content on developing leaders. That's going to be helpful. What is a habit? Well, I can go through. I got this list. I guess this would be really helpful. got these 5 levels of leadership, and it talks about, oh, it's actually right here. This one's mine. I remember this form was really helpful. It shows us what level of leader we are. And in section 4 says, I schedule and follow through with training and development for all the members of my team on a regular, consistent basis. So that is definitely something I could do. And follow through with training and development for all the members of my team on a regular, consistent basis. That is something that I need to have the habit. When deadlines loom or work becomes urgent, I never cancel training and development sessions. Consistently share during the leadership table training. These are some good skills to give people. I consistently take risks by giving people responsibilities and authority that will stretch them. Yeah, that's something I gotta do. I individualize the way I train, develop, and mentor people. That I gotta do. I individualize the way I train, develop, and mentor people. That's definitely a habit. I spend the most strategic and significant mentoring time with the people who have the highest capacity, talent, and potential. I have a history of moving people from position to help find their best fit. I'm continually giving people feedback, not just during formal reviews. I need to create formal reviews. Create systematic reviews within our entire organization. Definitely. I am continually giving feedback, not just during formal reviews. My team or department is considered by others to be the best trained or one of the best in the organization. Alright, what other habits? Habits that will help people. Sharing nuggets that will attract leaders. I can share daily on my stories, my social stories about. Share daily on my social stories about leadership development. Consistently teach others to think in terms of intangibles like momentum, values, culture, a big picture overview, vision, etc. People need to know that. Consistently encourage everyone to work on the ministry and not just in the ministry. That's a powerful shift. Why would I have to be the only person who works on the ministry. I never thought about that. Consistently. Consistently encourage everyone and define what it means to work on the ministry, not just in the ministry. Yeah, that'd be good. Values set us apart. Instill values. Look for people who have similar values. I know things that I could do. Things I could do is teach my leaders. I'll say ours. Teach our leaders how to set goals and exceed them. Love exceeding our goals. So that's what I'm doing right now, teaching you. I think the more people who have goals, the more we'll be able to be intentional with stuff. I never realized intentionality has a lot to do with goal setting. Why you do what you do. Having some sort of review. I'm trying to think what else. Skills. Alright. Skills. I definitely need to understand the skill of influence. Skill. I'll put skill. I need to know skill of influence. Need to know the skill of asking great questions. Is there a learning stepping stone here? Oh, I already passed it. Oh, I can study my devotions. How Jesus asked great questions. Yeah. So I need to develop that skill. What other skill do I need at? Skill of delegating. Skill of turning followers into leaders. It's possible. Skill of turning followers into leaders and teaching others how to do likewise. What was the habit? System. Build a system for creating, developing leaders. Yeah. We need a system that can consistently produce. Consistently. Every single time. This is going to be such a huge blessing to people. I'm trying to think of other skills that would be life-changing. I know I need to know what... skill. Skill, persuasion. I need to know what persuades people. What persuades people? Biblical persuasion. The persuasion of Christ. A science of persuasion. Yes, how that works. There's something else that I had, but I forgot what it was. Skill. Learning people's goals, dreams, desires, wants, and needs. Another thing that I could study in my devotions, the 6 human needs. That's going to be really powerful. How to integrate that. My mind already goes into different things there. That would be deep. That would be really fun. Build a system for developing leaders. Oh, I'm looking at skills. skills. So I need to know definitely time management, but really I need to know how to prioritize my time. I need the skill to not only discern talent, but to discern talent and identify potential leaders. I need to know how to attract great leaders. That would be really good too. I need to know skill. I need to know how to consistently choose to change all my painful emotions in 90 seconds or less. Skill. Standing on the promises of Christ my King, through eternal ages let his praises ring. Glory in the highest I will shout and sing. Creating frameworks. Creating teaching frameworks anyone can use. What else? What else would be really helpful? I really do need to know how to ask questions, how to interview people. Yeah, I need to know how to skill of interviewing Dream 100 guests and people I want to learn from. That would be good. Pretty powerful to find these people asking these questions. Action-based. What other skills do I need to know? Delegation, time, financials, getting people the skill of helping other people reach their goals and get what they want. I really need to learn that. I need to learn the skill of adding value to people. I really need to learn that. Studying to teach. I need to learn the skill of marketing. Marketing is really important. Getting our message out to the masses. That sounds really essential. You need to learn the skill of speaking. Voice culture. Voice culture. Speaking. Adult learning, how we work. Yeah, there's a lot of skills I gotta develop. Need to figure that out. What other skills do I need? Showing genuine appreciation. Skill of recruiting. You learn how to recruit the right people. Action-based stepping stones. So what do I need to do? Oh, I also need to learn how to identify objective key results, OKRs, and be very specific and measurable for the goals that I set. I need some serious dates, times. Skill of setting goals and achieving them. That's gonna help tremendously. Well, this is good. This is getting a head start. What do I need to teach our leaders how to set actions? I need to create a system for gathering the important information for developing the leaders leaders I'm mentoring. Yes. I need to learn the skill. Did I already say? Oh, it's a habit. Yeah, I need to learn how to individualize the way that I train and develop people. It's gonna be really helpful. I need to learn the skill, stepping stone, habits, skill, skill of working with a project manager. That's new to me. Action-based, develop leaders, create systems for the different parts of leadership development. I probably put that down there already. Actions. Gotta gather together some people to create Bible readings. Gather together some people. Need to host small groups. Need to make an org chart of the future of small group leadership and what it will become. Yeah, I need to figure out the structure. That's gonna be rough. Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye people. Serve the Lord with gladness. Enter into his presence. Yeah, I got it. That would be good to do. Action based. Well, I know I could pray for, what is it called? This would be really cool. Pray for software that can keep track of the people we are developing, like a ISA placement tree. This is good. So you're seeing the process that I go through trying to put this together. These help me to know what to do, help me to be resourceful. Relationship obstacles, stepping stones. These are things that get in the way, things that are challenging. What is halting me? Obstacles. I have a small circle of let me put obstacle on here. Obstacle. I have a small circle of leaders who are much higher level leaders than me that I talk to, and I need to change that because I'm an average of the top 5 voices that I hear the most. Obstacle. Time. Is there really time? All these resources. Time, money, knowledge, priority, paralyzed by opportunity. No, let's say that. Paralyzed by opportunity, the options that I can take. That's okay. Relational stepping stones. Who are the people whose help and cooperation will be required to achieve this goal? Who are the members of my family? Well, I know Conran's my brother from another mother. Family, we are family. Jesus, He is my God, and I'm so glad He brought us all together. I'm so glad that the Father is our God. That's a big list. Christina, what would be the purpose of this? Now that I've identified the key people whose help I require, ask what is in it for them. Ooh, wow, that's deep. Well, that's real deep. Okay, maybe I should make a bigger list. Co-workers. So we got I'll say team members. Wow, that's deep. This is gonna get me a game plan. It's nice once we know what we're doing. We want to do it. She tall. Susie. Diana. Kathy. So Kathy wants to replace herself in the kitchen. Gotta teach her how to do that. Kitchen. Susie. What would Susie want? She wants to have more time and make people happy. How could she make people happy? By developing as a leader. So this question is really powerful because what it's doing is it's again with that principle where you can have anything you want in life if you help enough people to get what they want in life. So you have to, the way to influence people is we have to ask what actually influences them, what motivates them the most, and how can we give them what they want. And by giving them what they want, it's actually going to accomplish more. By teaching them how to get what they want is in harmony with what you want too. So it's a really huge blessing where you want to create it where your success is tied to the success of those who you are helping. And it can only happen when you have similar mission and vision and values and interests, like a direction that you're going. And when we're all going in the same direction, then you succeed when I succeed when you succeed. And like it's a win-win-win situation with everybody involved. That's really the only people that you want to work with. So in that case, you could just obsess on like, how can I help bless people, encourage them in their walk with God, develop them as Christ-like leaders, and help them to be all that God has called them to be. And look at the infinite path of development. Everybody wants that. People want to grow. So seeing what people really appreciate. Tall wants words. Words mean a lot to her. Words mean a lot to she tall. I'll say her. So how can we give her words? How can we encourage her to communicate? So what she wants training on communication, probably. That's my guess. She wants to be in ministry. I know another team is Neri. She wants to work full-time for God. Yeah, wants to work full-time for the Lord. Give her opportunities that could help her. Mom loves helping others to identify their role and talents and use them for Christ. She really wants to grow. She wants to learn to manage her time. Yep, wants to learn to manage her time. I know Sister Zelda, she said recently, she just said it to me today, she wants to, I think she said something about getting organized. Thank the good Lord. Oh yeah, she wants to be organized, set goals, to be organized and setting goals for her ministry endeavors. Yeah, she wants to do that. So then mom, what did she really want? Well, mom wants to be the 104,000. To be the 104,000. They will be leaders. 104,000 will be leaders. Ishtar wants to reflect Christ fully. What does mom really want? So how are these things going to help them? So yeah, just talking to them about their goals and interests. That's really neat. But how does it help? Oh, she really wants to train her daughters in the fear of the Lord. Absolutely. She wants to train her daughters in the fear of the Lord. Wants to witness to her family and share Christ with her loved ones. Yeah, she wants to do that. Other stuff. Boss. Who's my boss? Definitely Christ. Christ. I'll put him on there. Christ wants to see his children working together. Whoa, who's every person in my life I will have to work with or work around to achieve my goal. Kind of put a lot of those people down here. I'm trying to think if there's someone else. Is there someone else? Work around. Well, the small group leaders. These are people that I tend to not think about, but small groups is a huge leadership development strategy. Small group leaders. So then I'm going to go back to that book. Is that a book? What happened here? What was that dude's name? David Cho Small Groups Ministry book, Setting Goals. I do want to learn that. I want to go back to that, revisit a little bit, see what's going on, have a new light, new lens. Small group leaders. Who has a similar goal that also aligns with the one that I'm setting out to do? I asked that question. Who can I ask to be a part of my accountability team for reaching this goal? Ooh. Who can help hold me accountable? Definitely Kathy. Help hold me accountable. Accountability team. That sounds important. AOI team? Who would want to? Interesting. Kim wants to develop as a leader. Wants to see every young Christian dedicate their talents to Christ's service. Yeah, that's good stuff. What are some ways I can spend more time? People are working towards the same goal. Well, some ways I can attend events, interview Dream 100. I can create create more content on this subject. I can what else can I do? Create more content on this subject. Interview the Dream 100. Create more content. Oh yeah. Leadership table. Read audiobooks. Yep. Listen to podcasts. What are other ways I can do? Call other ministry directors. Oh, I know someone who has a similar goal. My brother Ezra St. Jester. That'd be good. What other ministry leaders do I know? Who's trying to develop leaders? I don't know. And call the ministry directors. Train small group leaders. He that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools will be destroyed. Now can I walk with wise people who have similar goals? People want to grow, want to learn, want to develop. Where do you meet people? What are some ways? Okay. Ask for referrals from mutual friends who know leaders. There you go. What are some ways I can spend intentional time with the people who have already achieved the same goal? Definitely interviewing the Dream 100. Share with as many people as possible, not just what you are doing, but especially you're crystal clear why you are reaching towards this goal. Yeah, that's important. So now it's time to prioritize my list. Well, I'm going to go up a little bit here. I see leadership table, so I got that done. Choose who I want to mentor. Kind of did that. Mom, find spiritual gifts test to ask. Oh, I didn't ask her that. That'd be cool. Pray for assistant, keep track of these leadership growth, an app or software. Yep. Look for where John says a requirement for those leaders must develop leaders. Personal growth plan. Make a commitment. Must make. Oh, study what is relevant. You must set personal goals. Okay. Create more training programs. Yeah, I want to create training programs. So maybe an action would be develop a team who helps to organize and keep track the training programs that I create. That'd be good. The overview system. Hey, that's kind of cool. I should create that. Setting goals No, setting goals, life's definite aim resource. Create more training programs to help my leaders develop in their leadership ability. Same as life's definite aim resource. Go through books to understand the common themes. Yep, those are good. Checklist for the focus blueprint. Collecting resources. Yeah, I definitely want to do that. Create a little small group leadership handbook for training. Ooh, that sounds good. Job description of small group. Oh, that sounds intense. Should do that with Jackie. Job description of small group leaders. Those are kind of things that we were doing. Resources on asking questions, on listening with the intent to understand. Have Kamran's help to create a Notion avatar. Oh, he did he do that? No, he didn't do that. Yeah. Experiences, personality type, defining moments. Yes. Well, that's cool. Go through the working minister doc. And here's the trainings. That's good. I like this. So anyways, this is where I have these lists. Next I need to prioritize this, but rather than prioritizing, I might come back to this. Let me pull up this. Okay. Alright. I just want to say thank you very much for joining me. I might come back to this in this video. I did this so that you can kind of see the process of going through this, and so you can at least see some actual steps. Truth be told, the more that you focus on this, the more you review your notes, the more that you see this, like it might seem large and daunting, but that's because we're creating a sloppy list. It's not supposed to be in order. The next step is to prioritize and actually choose what you're doing and put them in by sequence and priority. Don't worry about the overwhelm and the amounts, but just know that, like, in order for you to accomplish any big thing, you need to figure out how to chunk it down into smaller sections and group those sections together and look for triggers and habits where you can start working towards those as your one thing that you're doing. And for me, my one thing is learning how to develop leaders. So I want you to let me know in the comments if you think this was helpful. Honestly, I don't know who watches this video. I don't know if anyone watches this video. So let me know in the comments if this is a blessing for you. And I'd love to know what stood out to you the most when you're going through this process. My intention was that I'm going to do this anyways. And honestly, I do this maybe like, I don't know, like 2 to 3 times a month. Go through this process of like brainstorming and putting those things together. But then I review it several times a week, maybe 3 times a week or something. I'm constantly, usually in the evening. That's usually when I do it personally, when I'm reflecting and I'm just considering and meditating in life. That's what works for me. You might have a different system, but I do this because it helps me to stay focused and to know where I'm going, why I'm going there, and not give up. Because what you focus on, you find. What you focus on changes you. As you see 2 Corinthians 3:18, and what you focus on grows, as Galatians 6:7 describes. So focus on your goals. Focus on what God has called you to be. Focus on God, what's called you to do, and you're going to see results. You're going to see making progress towards what you consistently, habitually focus on and work towards and be building. If you want to be intentional, there's 2 things that I pray for every single day in the year 2020. I want to be intentional and consistent. These are 2 things I pray for literally every day in this account book here. It says, oh, how much better it is How much better is the condition of those who act their part in God's service? That's you and that's me. Looking to Jesus for his approval, writing daily in their account book their mistakes, their errors, their sorrow, their victories they have gained over temptation, their joy and peace in Christ. Such youth will not have to meet their life record with shame and dismay. If you don't want to meet your life's record with shame and dismay, I encourage you to write daily in your account book. One thing that I write is, the second question I ask in the morning is, if one character trait could describe the kind of person Christ wants me to be today, then that word is, it's supposed to be one word, but I do two. And it's consistent and intentional every day. And God answers that prayers. So this is an effort of me trying to teach you how you can kind of go through this process. And as you go through this process, I'm telling you, friends, I am telling you, it makes a difference. There's so many even this book right here, I went through this process in doing this. I created this because I began learning how goals are created, and I realized, whoa, I need a system for reviewing my goals and knowing how to not forget, how to take my goal, and then what the process I just went through with you, then I write them down day by day and I chunk them out. So I've got 3 to 5 things I want to accomplish at the end of the year. Then I take those big high-level overviews. I'm like, let's chunk it down into 4 quarters of the year. So what do I want to accomplish the first quarter, the second, the third, the fourth, and each quarter is reaching towards those bigger objectives in the year. And then I look at the month and say, what do I want to accomplish this month? 3 to 5 things this month that will work towards one of the quarters. And then I break down that month into 4 weeks. What do I want to accomplish in these 4 weeks that will help me to finish these objectives if I need? And I realized, and this has been like the single practice habit that has been some of the most life-changing for me in my experience. When I started to do the process that I'm showing you right now, this is through studying the science of goal setting and the Bible and the Word of God, that what it talks about. It's opened my mind. If you want to know how to set goals, you're going to have to study it. If you like, I can give you a document that has all my devotions and all my documented notes on setting goals, and it's just from the Word of God about how these goals, all these steps, all these areas that are here, it just traces the scriptures. You could see I got some other videos on it, but that document, if you want to read it in your devotions, I would encourage you, what you focus on you find. If you don't know how to set goals, you may have to study setting goals for a month. Make that your monthly challenge, and every month you add a different challenge, you gain a new skill. So when I look at these developing leaders, I'm committing this to a life. This isn't something I'm going to do in a quarter. This is something that I am doing in my life. This is a life work. This is a life mission. This is why I exist. This is why the Army of Youth is here, because we realize that the cause of God is hurting, not because it needs workers, but because it needs leaders who develop leaders. There are so many workers who have so much responsibility, ability, and they're so overwhelmed and perplexed, and they have so much responsibility that they just can't move forward. They can't accomplish what they want to do. And I know I've been there, but they're surrounded by people who have their hands raised saying, Lord, here am I, send me. I want to work in your vineyard. But the 11th o'clock workers, Jesus told a parable, and Jesus is like, why are you standing all the day idle? And he's like, nobody has hired us. So I'm like, oh, you mean they'd be willing to work if they were simply asked? And people are so busy that they don't build teams. They don't develop as leaders. They don't develop a team that they can lead, and they don't know how. They don't take the time to put in this work. But I tell you, is it easy? No. Is it worth it? Absolutely. And that's why I'm recording this video. But please do let me know in the comments if you're actually watching this, or if you find this to be a blessing, and why did you find it a blessing? How are you going to apply this to your life? I would love to know. That's why I have it. But until next time, thank you very much for watching. I pray that this is encouragement to someone. But I want you to remember, God doesn't call the qualified, He qualifies the called.